Clean water from the air. That's our Techstination. Joining us from Kara Water, K-A-R-A, is CEO and founder Cody Soodeen. Hi, Cody.
Hey, Fred, how are you?
Terrific. Well, give us an overview of what Kara Water is all about.
For sure. Well, thanks for having me on. So Kara Water is an air-to-water company. So what we do is take the humidity in the air and we turn it into 9.2 pH mineral drinking water.
So some background about this. How did this come about?
Yeah, so long story short was I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania where we had well water. And my folks had a lot of health issues over the years. And fast forward a little bit, they come to find out from a doctor that they had very high levels of bacteria in their system. And the source of that was coming from our well water. So that meant our well water had very high levels of bacteria in it. And since then, they stopped drinking the tap water or the well water and just drank bottled water. They just had no trust in it anymore. Fast forward again to college, I went to university for architecture. And while studying architecture, I learned about this little beetle that lives in the driest desert in the world. And the way that it survives is it climbs up on top of a sand dune. It'll perch itself towards the wind. And as the wind hits the shell of the beetle, it'll capture the moisture in the air. And as the moisture on the shell starts to accumulate, it'll do a handstand and then drink the water off its own back. And that's how it survives. So when I saw this, I just thought to myself, wow, why don't we drink water from the air? It's locally available, it's everywhere, and it's abundant. So I started to research the shell of the beetle and understood how it captured the water and thought to myself, well, we had this problem where we only drink bottled water. What if we had something that we can make that could make drinking water from the air? And that was kind of the inception of Kara Water.
Very interesting. You have a product on the market now called Kara Pure.
Yep, we do. We launched in December 21, and we did our soft launch, and we did our full launch at CES January 5th this year.
So tell us how this is different. People might say, well, it sounds like a dehumidifier to me, but you're much more than that. So give us the description here of how this works and how it is different.
Sure. So like I said, the same concept of that beetle, right? That's a natural phenomenon. It doesn't need, that beetle doesn't have electricity running through it. It's just capturing water on its shell. We use the same concept. We don't use what you have in a typical dehumidifier. Dehumidifiers use refrigerants and a compressor, right? To cool the air to a dew point where then it captures the water and condensation. We don't have a compressor in our unit. It's very similar to the shell of the beetle. The best example I can give you is those little packets in your shoebox that say don't eat, that keep the box dry. We use a similar material. And if you think about that, there's no energy input in that pack of silica in your box. It's just naturally pulling water out of the air. So this material has the same natural phenomenon. As we pass air over the material, it just pulls it out like a magnet. And we capture that water and we create about 10 liters per day. So we use the opposite, like the entirely opposite process. We don't use cooling or cold air to condense the water. We actually just have a material that captures the water, and then we use heat to dry it out to keep it dry so that it keeps absorbing water. This makes really, really pure water, which is it's pretty much it's really, really pure. So we get to put anything we want back into it. So we have these unique and rare minerals that make it alkaline, which people really love, the alkaline level. And we add minerals back into it. So our process for how we capture the water is entirely different. It's far more sustainable. It's far more environmentally friendly. It's quieter, and it's something that's more recyclable as well. Refrigerants obviously aren't as recyclable.
So what does the cost work out to per gallon of water?
So it's about, depending on where you are, so we say it's about 10 liters per day, right? So about 2.5 gallons per day of this mineral alkaline water that you'll make. I will say 20 bottles of water. It comes out to about, depending on your kilowatt hour, it'll be between 20 cents and 60 cents a gallon.
That's pretty favorable compared to the purchase of bottled water. Correct. And there are consumables that are sort of required with the machine to add these things?
Yep. So again, my architecture background kicked in there, and we made sure that the only thing that you would have to change are your filters. The air filter is cleanable by vacuum. The filters are just twist off. There's no screws, no tools required to get in there. There's a key that opens the back door, and you just change the filters. And typically for other water products, they require you to change their filters every 3 months or 6 months. For us, we require you once a year.
Once a year, you replace the filter. What about the mechanism for adding? You were talking about adding alkalinity and other minerals. Are there?
Yeah, so same thing. That comes with the filter set. So it's a mineralizer. It's in the form of a filter. So it's just natural minerals like rocks that are in these filters, and you run the water through, and it picks up the minerals as it goes through it. So that comes with the filter replacement once a year.
And that's what gives you the alkaline water as well?
Yeah, so think of it like a river running over rocks. It's picking up minerals, same concept, and it picks up the minerals that make it alkaline.
And what does that cost to replace the filter system each year?
So we run the filters for $200 a year.
$200 a year? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about the cost of the unit itself.
Sure.
And is this within reach of a lot of people?
So right now, it's our first product. We're just launching. We need to, it's a new technology. It took a lot of design effort to build a stainless steel product, fully stainless steel. So the cost right now is $37.99. And we typically run discounts. Currently we're running a discount. We were just on the Today Show 2 days ago. So we're running a discount, in celebration of the Today Show cover. So you can check out the website. There's 20% discount running right now as well.
Tell me about the potential for using this technology in areas of the world that really have problems finding clean water.
Yeah, I think what my approach here is that we understand that the best way to help people in a large capacity is not just through donation, but through having the financial means to do so. So we do believe that we'll have this unit as a first model that we can launch at a higher price point. And as we develop the company and grow, I'll be able to develop a more affordable unit that is going to be used for third world. In addition, before we get there, because I'm hugely interested in social impact, and understanding how we can help people from the start. Like, long story short, I actually started this company as a nonprofit when I first started years ago, but then everyone convinced me to make the company a for-profit company. And I didn't want to do it for the longest time, but I understood that, after I looked at like the whole Tesla model, I was like, he wouldn't be where he was with the amount of impact he's made with EVs across the world if he didn't make a profit and was able to make more products and improve them. And in my head, it clicked. It was like, profit can drive your purpose. If you have the funds to do it, you can help a lot more people. So we'd have a smaller, more affordable version as we grow. But before that, right now, what we're doing at an impact level is, this is like my favorite partnership that we have. There's a company called Ocean Bottle, and they have this reusable bottle that has a sensor in it. And every time you fill that bottle with water, it records that bottle being filled to 500 ml or 1 liter, whatever it is, and it will send it to like a database, has Wi-Fi. And for every liter poured into that bottle, they will tell someone in a third world country to go pick up a plastic bottle from a beach, an ocean, a town, or a city, and they'll pay them to do so. We've partnered with them so that every liter poured from our unit will be recorded, because we have Wi-Fi, so we can push updates, and sent to a database that we've poured. Say we've poured 500,000 liters for the year or the quarter with all the units that we have out in the market. We'll pay them to go pay people in third world countries to pick up a plastic bottle from an ocean, beach, town or city, and like I said, pay that person in that country. And we'll also record that information on the screen so you can see your direct impact of how many plastic bottles are being picked up in a third world country. And their goal is to end plastic bottle pollution. So you'll see your direct impact on your screen. So that's what we're working on now. And we as a company take on the cost to pay for that, not the customer.
Very, very interesting. So the availability of this is now people can go out and purchase this. Tell me about
Yeah,
it.
they can go out and purchase it just directly from our website at www.carwater.com. And like I said, we're running a 20% discount right now. And that's live on the website. You can see it, what the discount code is. And we will be in, well, yeah, print directly from our website right now. We really just launched fully on January 5th. We launched when we got the Times Best. When we had Times Best last November, Times Best inventions, we had launched our commercial sales.
Right. And we should mention that you have awards from both the Consumer Technology Association, CES, and Time Magazine for innovation here. So what's next for you? You have this out on the market now, and how pervasive do you think this can become over time?
You know, as we continue to grow and bring more value and raise the awareness of this type of technology, we hope that, you know, it's the same concept as the EVs. We hope that our reliance on groundwater can be lessened through the application and technology of air to water. You know, as we grow as a country, as a population, the demand on groundwater is just getting more and more intense. And you know, it's no longer a third world issue to have contaminated water or lack thereof, right? Like look at Lake Mead, it's at record lows it's never been before, right? That's definitely a signal that there's going to be water issues in the country pretty soon. And some places are already feeling that, right? California is always in drought. Um,
When there
so
are low humidity levels, does this still work? Or
it still works. Yep. You'll get the yield will vary for sure, depending on the humidity. For example, I have it at my folks' house, and they live in the Northeast in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and they have about between 16 and 21% humidity at all times because they're running the heat because it's cold. And it took about, I would say, 48 hours to fill up the whole tank at that low humidity. So they got about 5 liters per day. For them, that's more than enough. You know, so that's pretty low humidity to even get it. It actually outperforms what we think it would in low humidities, which is great.
and does it lower the humidity in the room?
About 5%. That's the most that I've seen.
So in the summer, you're not going to use this as a dehumidifier necessarily, but I guess
If it's in like a small, we prefer that it's in a larger space, but we tried our best not to make it a dehumidifier. That's not the real goal of this, right?
right. Absolutely. And the water itself, how good is the water that you're getting as a result?
It's great. I mean, I'm not to be biased, but it's definitely, I mean, I looked at the mineral profile myself and I kind of sourced it looking at other big brands out there to figure out what people love, what they purchase now. When I looked at the mineral profile, I looked at like Fiji water. And I was like, well, Fiji's really, I don't really have a light palate to water like some people do. They can tell like this is Fiji or this is da da da, or this is tap water. But Fiji does taste very smooth. And when you look at the reason, it has a very high silica content, well, high mineral content in itself. So it has a good taste. So I looked at those minerals, sourced those, and then I wanted something really smooth. And I've been to Iceland before one time, and I remember how smooth the water was there. And it's because it's very high in silica. It's like beer. So we have a very high silica content, and those minerals that we have in there, I wanted to get to a level of like 9+ pH, so typical to Essentia, so that we can could say like, you know, this is even better than that in pH level. So we got to a 9.2 pH with the minerals that it picks up as it runs through. So it's really high quality water.
That's terrific. So for more information, where can people go?
They can go to carwater.com. They can check us out on YouTube at Carwater or Instagram. There's tons of content out there on all media outlets that you could think of. I think I just saw we're on Forbes in Japan yesterday, which has been amazing, just snowball effects in CES. So yeah, they can check us out there, get more information. YouTube is definitely pretty great because we have tons of videos. very like open. We talk about the whole company, the product, the team, all of it.
Terrific. Karawater.com, Kara water.com. Cody Soodeen, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Yep. You're welcome. Thanks for having me.